Hi everyone, welcome to the latest video of my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to share you with my IMT Ghaziabad interview experience. So I had my interview on 10th of February 2025 and my slot was of afternoon 12 p.m. So my reporting time was 11:45 and my center was New Delhi YMCA Tourist Hostel. I reached the center by 11:40 and then I was told to wait in a room for my document verification, and I was one of the last person to have my document verified. So I would suggest you to go a little early to the PI center, because the document verification process is on the basis of first come first serve, and the PI panel allocation is also on the basis of first come first serve. So it would be beneficial for you to go early so that your process can start early and you get free by the earliest. So my document verification process ended around 12:45 p.m. and the critical thinking test started around 1 p.m. and my topic for the same was privatization is the only way to improve the Indian healthcare sector. And my approach to write this was a balanced one. I talked about public-private partnership and the importance of private players, as well as the interference and the importance of government players also. The word limit was around 300 words, and they told us that you won't get any extra sheets, so you have to accommodate on a single sheet only, and you have to bring your own pens because it's beneficial that you have own pen. Yeah, so that was it. And I talked to various other candidates, and they also had similar approach. They wrote about public-private partnership, and they had a balanced approach. So I would suggest that you have a balanced approach and avoid grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes too. Once our critical thinking test was over, we were told to wait in an auditorium for our PI turns to came. We were total 180 students in our center, and we were divided into a group of 15. And I was a 15 student in my group because I was one of the last to get my documents verified. So I would suggest you that you go to the center a little early so that you could get a preferred sequence number for a PI process. Also, you were allowed to use phones, and they were serving some snacks. If you are a little bit hungry, you could have some. Uh, so I was waiting, and the process started around 1:45 for the first sequence number, and my turn came around 4:30 or 4:45. And once I entered my PI room, I encountered two panelists. One was male and one was female. The male panelist took the charge first, and he asked me about, tell me about yourself, asked me about my hobbies, and he asked me that, do I read newspaper or books? On which I answered that I don't read any books apart from my academics, but I try to read newspaper daily. And he asked me, can we discuss any news? So I told some of the recent news which are happening in India and also around the globe. He asked me about then the UCC and the first state to have UCC. And from the discussion with my fellow candidates, I was aware that many candidates were asked about UCC and Mahkum, so I was prepared for that, and I answered the question, and I was satisfied with my answer. Then the main panelist was done with his questions, and the female panelist took the charge, and she asked me that I am from BTech, so why I'm doing my MBA after BTech, so which I answered. Also, she asked me about which specialization. I told that I want to do an MBA in marketing, and she asked me, if not marketing, which specialization you will choose. And then there were some marketing questions like what metrics you would choose to see the performance of your ads, trends in marketing, how BTech in IT will help you in marketing. Then she asked me about business analytics and how a company analyze the data, which like how the company analyze the data and how they get the data which they analyze. Also, she asked me about use of AI in marketing, use of immersive technologies in marketing, and she also asked me to give some examples of some brands which are using these immersive technologies. So I told that Myntra and Lenskart are using these immersive technologies. Then the last question from her was, you have another calls from better colleges, so why you are choosing IMT? So I told her about the legacy of IMT and how famous IMT is in the field of marketing. So yeah, that was my answer. And I also told about some college societies and some marketing competition IMT organizers. So she was satisfied. So this was my IMT Ghaziabad interview experience. And in my interview, there were no specific academic questions, as well as I was not bombarded with GK questions too much, which was the case with my fellow candidates from different panels. They were bombarded with random GK questions. Also, they were asked too much about academics and work ex. So I would suggest, if you have your interview in upcoming days, so please revise your academics, some GK facts. Also prepare some generic HR questions like why MBA and tell me about yourself. It would be very beneficial, and all the best for your interviews, and don't take too much stress. You would do great. And yeah, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. And if you know someone which have their IMT Ghaziabad interview in upcoming days, please share my video to them.